Hello and welcome to another episode of the Get At It Gaming Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ben,
I'm Alex.
and we have a special guest today. We have Candi here from the Half Haunted Chronicles. We've got a good show for you guys today. This is it's a fun idea. So I have been following Candi on TikTok, and her stories are of the haunted, uh, kind of like they're either haunted or ghost stories or just kind of like real things. But here's the part that's really crazy. These are real places that this is all about. This is not like, you know, like the fake places. These are real places. And so we are so excited to have you on the show. So welcome to the show. Um,
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
so let's kind of start out. So tell everybody like what your show is about in general. Like what is it you talk about?
So I talk about anything like paranormal, like cryptids, ghost stories, near-death experiences, stuff that's happened to me personally. That's a little creepy, but it's mainly about the paranormal, anything under that umbrella. And I just want people to know more about it for those that can't get out and experience stuff like I do. So I just want to bring that into their homes so that they can experience that with me through my voice and my video. But it's anything paranormal and I'm funny. So I throw a little bit of jokes in there here and there. So that's
Um,
what it's about.
so you said like going out and experiencing these things. Alex, do you want to go out and experience anything paranormal?
No, thank you. No, thank you. The most
Why
I can't. No.
explain yourself?
Oh, I'm a scared baby. That's the answer. I barely even I don't know, like even with like horror stuff in general. I normally don't gravitate towards that. I guess it's more of I don't like jump scares. Like that's a big thing. Like I've never enjoyed that. But if you can like write something good or portray something good, then it's interesting. Or like the stories and stuff that you talk about are interesting. And because like yes, they're creepy. Yes, they're eerie and all of that. They're presented in a calm way. So like it's not like scary or anything, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
even with like games or like movies and stuff, I tend to just stay away from that because I don't know. It's not that it's not my cup of tea. It's just that I
Mhm.
always feel like there's gonna be a jump scare in a lot of these things, and there generally are. And it's like you can do horror without jump scares. Like it is possible, but I don't know.
That's true. Very true. I'm a horror
Yeah.
fan too, so it goes along with the paranormal
Mm,
stuff, but I'm more of a paranormal girly. I like The Sixth Sense, that was my
mm-hmm.
favorite. And what's the other one with, Kevin Bacon that I like? It came out around the same time, I can't think of the name.
Oh, yeah. Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember the name of it.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
I
But
know which
yes,
one you're
that
talking
those
about.
2, those yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
happened, so it's a little scary, but I like stuff like that because it's true, like, some of this is true.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it's allegedly, but most of it is true,
Mm-hmm.
in
I
some
think
aspect.
I think that's why I like it so much is because um, when we first started talking, I was talking about one that you were talking about that's called Slave House in Illinois,
Mhm.
but you go all over the United States. You go not just there, but I heard there was one you did in San Francisco. You go all over and sometimes out of the country with some of these things that are there. But everything you say is based on the either folklore or it's based off a story of some truth there. Um, Kind of like what Alex said, I do like scary stuff. I listen to a couple of podcasts. Scary Stories Told in the Dark is one of my favorite ones. And I do like the horror aspect. By the way, I am warming up Alex to that. Not too long ago, we watched a horror-ish movie, Onyx the Fortuitous. Um, and I think that's more comedy,
Mm-hmm.
very much like Army of Darkness horror. Um,
Yeah.
but um, like, so how do you find some of these stories or folklore, lore when you're um, getting some of these ready?
So some of them are from experience from when I was a kid, like the La Llorona in New Mexico. That's where I was born and raised. That's been a legend that's been told to me when I was a kid in school, and some of them I just do research because 'cause I've watched pretty much all the paranormal shows there is known to man, seen everything, so I'm like, "I wanna know more about it, I wanna know the unknown stuff, the
Mhm.
stuff that they don't show you on TV that you wouldn't normally see." So, a lot of it I've been to or I've heard about, and then a lot of it I've seen on TV, and I just my curious mind wanted to know more about it, and I'm like, "Ooh, is this real or not?" But yeah, the La Llorona is one. Like there's one here, like the Mothman. I'm interested in that. I mean, I've just heard different ones. And the one in Resurrection Cemetery in Chicago, I'm gonna go to this summer. That's another one where the girl disappears, allegedly, or the ghost gets in the car and forget. I'm like, that'd be neat. What if I see her? You know, so I'm like Dora the Explorer almost, ghostly wise, like paranormal. So I like to explore stuff that's unknown, that's not generally known to the public.
Yeah, I think that's I watch a lot of the paranormal, like Ghost Hunters, and Sci-Fi had a couple really good paranormal shows. What
Hmm.
I have learned in my experience is, A, I'm not buying an old house ever. Um, and I'm gonna check the land beforehand of where this house was built. Um, I I Alex and I both know, um, some people that were ghost hunting and had their own group at one point. And when I worked at the radio station, I was really trying to get them to like, do ads or do like a crazy, hey, we're gonna do a ghost hunt. And I was, they go, hey, you should go with us. And I'm like,
Hmm.
um, no, I'm good. I like to keep all
Hard
my stuff.
pass.
Yeah, it'd be a quick pass here. But yeah, I think that's really awesome. Um, I've watched most of them on TikTok and Spotify. Um, Now, has there ever been one that you've, like, done the research on and you've, like, either gone there or you've said, "Hey, I'm gonna go to this place that I know is haunted and spend the night," where you were like, "Yep, this is" like, something happened, or it was like, "Nope, this is not for me today."
Yeah, say less. So, I've been on two stories that stand out. One is the Queen Mary. I went on the ship, visited, and I had a weird experience. I thought I saw somebody down the hallways. Those hallways are kind of like The Shining. Have you ever seen that movie? You know,
Mhm.
those
Oh,
creepy.
yes.
The hallways are like that. You can easily get lost, and it just felt creepy. And I thought I saw the Hat Man there, so it just gave me a weird vibe, and I left. But that was cool to be on a ship like that. But the most craziest thing that's happened to me is a place called the Mason House Inn, and that's only like an hour from me in Iowa. Oh my god. So I went with a group of people, another paranormal team. I signed up and then I stayed overnight there and I was like, this can't be this bad. It's built in 1848. It doesn't look like it's haunted, although it looked like the Amityville horror from the outside, the house. So I said,
Oh,
"Oh,
yeah.
this is alright." I'm like, all right." But then it was like a psychic retreat paranormal type deal, and I just went for the paranormal part of it. But long story short, I stayed in a room with my dear friend April, 2 different beds, and I guess a guy was murdered in the room. It was a known fact. He was drunk and he got in the wrong bed and the guy stabbed him. I was like, "Okay, I'll go to sleep, no problem. Whatever." Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I felt like somebody was staring at me from the bed, like, was
Mhm.
standing, when you're by the bed, and I'm like, "Okay," and then I could hear footsteps. Like, it always felt like you were being watched, right? And I couldn't sleep all night. I'm a paranormal person, but I do get scared, sometimes, and I was like, "Oh my god." And so, it was probably like 5:30 in the morning, and right outside the door, where my head of the bed was, by the door, the hallway, everybody's asleep, literally everybody's asleep, and I hear this woman yelling, like, yelling at someone in the hallway, and it was, like, right outside the door, and I'm like, "Nope, time to go." I grabbed all my stuff, I left that group, and I went home. I could not explain it, it scared the crap out of me. I could not. But I'm going back though for another interview and staying by myself this time next month. So I don't know. It's very historical and that's what I like about it.
Mhm.
And the owners are very cool, but I'm kind of apprehensive because of what happened last time, but I don't want to let that bother me, so but it's definitely haunted, definitely haunted. And they're not bad ghosts or anything. They're very nice, I guess. So there's no they have rules for ghost hunters there. So you can't bring any demons in. You can't do all that stuff. You just do what you need to do and get out basically. But it was scary. Like it was scary when no, and you're not losing your mind because 'cause you're there and you're like, "Oh my god," and there's a lady yelling, and there's nobody awake but you, and it's not you yelling,
Mhm.
and the other person in the room was asleep, so it's not them, and you hear footsteps, and, it's like, "Nope, mm-mm." But yeah, that really sat with me because I've experienced stuff at my previous home in Phoenix before because I lived in a haunted house, but nothing to that extent, if that makes sense. So, it's definitely crazy. I'd recommend it, going there. Mason House Inn in Iowa.
What do you think, Alex? Road trip?
No, I'm good. I barely leave my house
Yeah.
as it
I'm kind of.
is.
I mean, I'm kind of with him. I don't. I think the only thing that I ever felt that was scary was going to a haunted house, and we used to have a lot of local ones here, and I went once, and it's like what Alex said about the jump scares. I didn't see this one coming. I was having a great time, and this person just jumped out of nowhere, and unfortunately, he got a right cross. So,
Right.
if that if that person's listening, I'm sorry I punched you in the face. Um, I was also asked to leave. Uh, but, yeah, I love watching that stuff, but, like, on ghost hunters where they're in the pitch black, dark rooms with the cameras and they're talking, nah. I love to watch it. I don't know if I would actually go do it.
Yeah, and see, this thing with me is I don't like the jump scares when you go into what I call a fake haunted house,
Mhm.
where they come at you and I will do like you, throat punch. I'll be kicked out and banned. I can't do that. But, like, going into a place knowing that it's allegedly haunted and then it is kinda scary too, so I do agree with you in that aspect. It is kinda creepy when you go into a basement and you're, like, pitch black and someone's touching you and no one's around you. So it is kinda scary, but I can't do the jump scares because I will throat punch somebody. Not that I condone violence, but if you come out of nowhere, bam, So I just, jump scares. I can deal with everything else but that, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I just yeah, I think why I like your stories, and I know Alex brought this up, is they're just the right amount of, like, to give you that creep vibe, but it's not overkill. It's not
Yeah.
um, like, if my kids were around, they could hear it and they wouldn't be, like, sleeping in my bed at night or something, it's not that level. But the stuff that you're talking about that is, like, real stories and real things that have happened, I think that's what really kind of got me on your show. How much like, for the research part, you must have to do a ton of research to do episodes and stuff, right?
Yeah, it's a research. I do use ChatGPT as an assistant because I work a full-time job on the side, but a lot of it too, I've experienced it and read it before. So a lot of it's memory too, but I use ChatGPT to help me kind of get the things that are unknown that aren't anywhere else. And that's one thing that's good about AI, to be honest, is they do deep research. But yeah, I do that. I read books. I have my dad, he helps me find books too. He's like, you might want to find this one and read this one. And here's all these books. And I'm like, okay, let me get it all together. And then I just constantly read. If I'm not working, I'm either doing my podcast or reading or researching. So it's a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of research, a little bit of chat GPT as an assistant because it is a lot to do and write scripts. So they do help. And I want to sound like I'm, you know, doing a good job, you know.
Mhm.
But
No, I think like when we with this podcast, me and Alex have like, we got to take this. We can have fun on camera and when we're doing the podcast, but to set it up, we're the same way. Is
right.
you know we really like that. Um, we like the aspect that we're both on the same level. You know,
Yeah.
it's rare to find two people doing a podcast for so long with no arguments, no fights. Uh, we work well together. Um, you know,
Just
uh,
jinxing
I
us.
think, yeah, probably.
Well, I work
I
well too with myself, but myself can turn on myself sometimes too. I'm like, really? No, that's not right. I fight with myself sometimes. I'm like, oh no. But I understand what you're saying though. It is unique to have a podcast go so long and not have a fight because people are different. Personalities can be different. Ideas are different.
Mhm.
But I understand that. But it's a process, that's for sure.
Alex just puts up with my crap better than most people. Um,
I mean,
so
you said it, not me.
yeah, and we've already discussed this in earlier podcasts. I'm a much better host than Carrot Top. So
That's true. That's
is
true.
True.
is that? I mean, would you rather have Carrot Top on here?
I mean, I don't
Mhm.
know. I'd be showing up with my better jokes. So that's the thing.
Hmm?
Like small what is it, a little horse or something? Yeah, like that was perfection, right? I can do jokes
Chef's
I
sometimes.
don't think he
kiss, yep.
ever.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever leaves his hotel in Vegas. I
Oh,
think
well, no,
he stays in his
yeah.
apartment.
Yeah, and then he just goes on stage and he goes back. Yeah.
Yeah, he just
I mean,
wakes
do you
up and
blame
goes,
him?
"Yeah,
I would too. I'd be like, "Oh, time to go to work. Let's go do this and then go back home." You're right in the same building. Why not,
yeah."
you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't blame him nowadays, you know?
Like how much do you think that
Do you?
costs to like how much in advance do they have him for? Like is he just on there for life? Is that what that is? So like if he's not there, he either is home or that like the bar beside the theater, just staying there all day, you know?
He's
Like
gonna show up at our house. He's gonna show up at my house first.
see this is the thing.
He's
Like
gonna be like,
this is the new what is it, cyberpunk or whatever, when you always used to bring up cyberpunk.
"Oh
And
my
now
gosh."
now we're just gonna be talking about Carrot Top every episode.
My
That's
my
funny.
oldest my oldest son's friend when they were in high school, he used to listen to the podcast, and there was a game called Cyberpunk, um, and it came out, and the expectations were really high. The actual gameplay and what it was doing, not good at all. And so I made a joke about it, and so every time this child would come to my house to eat my food, he would make that joke. And so I finally started telling Alex, "Go, we got to make this joke in every episode because that's how I know he's listening."
Yeah.
Um,
That's funny.
he's he's in his second year of college now. I don't know if he listens anymore, but yeah, I totally agree with you on that. Um, for your show, so is there
Mhm.
something that you've not done yet that you really want to do, but you haven't like done it because A, it's maybe somewhat controversial, or because you're like, the amount of stuff I gotta do to get this ready to make sure all my facts are right and all that, like, I mean, do you have something that it's on your I mean, you don't have to tell us what it is, but you could say like, "Hey, this is kind of like where I'm looking at."
So I have 2 things. One, I've already completed the series. It's gonna come out March 16th, but it's near-death experiences, and that's a little bit controversial because people don't necessarily they believe in different things, you know? And a lot of people believe you die, that's it. But I don't believe that. I believe your energy. Anyway, so I have a whole 57 episode that's coming out, and that to me is controversial, but it's more of again informing people that it's not. It's okay. It's okay to be. It's not okay. How do I word this properly? Let me see. That it's not scary to die. People are afraid to die, and that you shouldn't be afraid to die. But anyway, the episode explains it all. And then the other one that I'm going to work on in the near future is something that I don't really believe sort of is UFOs. I mean, I believe there's intelligent life, but I don't believe they're meant to come to Earth and anal probe you. And I and I want to make sure
Cartman's safe.
and I want to exactly. And then I just saw a documentary on it. that was, like, fascinating. I'm like, the government's coming out saying that this stuff's real. So I'm like, let me do an episode or,
Mhm.
a series on that. So that's coming probably next year. But yeah, UFOs is on my list.
Oh, I believe there's aliens already here. If we look at certain celebrities now, um, there's a whole list of them.
Like
Um,
the lizard eyes or whatever, the
yeah.
lizard people.
Oh, I'm talking about like people. There's a whole list I'd love to say right now, um, but I
Like,
can't.
just say Carrot Top. We were
Uh,
already on his bad side.
I mean, he's definitely one.
Yeah. His
No one has
eyelids
that
do,
much
yeah, the
cosmic.
lizard eyes, so like the vertical, you know,
No one has that much plastic surgery and then wakes up and goes, you know what, this looks good. You know,
sheds
Well,
his
then
lizard
that's
skin.
Wayne
um,
Newton's one,
Mm.
you know. I mean,
oh,
I don't I mean, think about it. I get you. I get you on that because there's people that you're just like, hmm, I wonder, this is crazy. Speaking of craziness and aliens, I watched this movie that's up for, or the actress is up for Best Actress. What is it, Baldunia or Begonia? Some weird. My mom had me watching this movie, and I guess
Yeah.
these 2 idiots kidnap her, and they think she's an alien, and they're trying turns out,
oh
shocker,
yeah,
she's an alien, and I'm like, "Hmm, goes to show you that maybe, just maybe, normal people like you and I, Ben and Alex, might be aliens, but you never know, no
Exactly.
one ever
Whole
knows,"
lot
and I
there.
wanna yeah, and I wanna investigate that, all these
Mhm.
crazy
Alex.
experiences
Alex
from
is probably Alex is probably way too young to remember the show. There was a show when I was a kid called V.
Yes,
Oh,
where they
yeah.
Scared.
drink the soap.
Yeah, like they have like the lizard face underneath it, and
Mhm.
they looked like normal people. Scared the
Mhm.
bejesus out of me. My
Yeah.
dad and my brother were watching it, and I was like sneaking out of my room to kind of watch it. And there's a scene where like one of the guys hits one of the aliens in the face, and his face is off. And you see like the lizard skin. Literally did not sleep for days. I could not sleep. Now I've seen like clips of it. I'm like, why was I so scared of this?
Looks surreal back then.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, maybe.
Oh, yeah, it was
Yeah.
frightening back then.
Did
That's
you do you know what I'm
crazy.
talking about, Alex?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
That's great.
That
They
was a
tried to
cool.
reboot it like in the 2000s,
I
was
think
it?
I think they
Late
did.
2000s they tried to
Yeah.
Yeah,
reboot it?
yeah.
It wasn't very good. It didn't do
Keyword,
very.
tried.
Like everything,
I
they
mean,
try to reboot it.
that's Hollywood. It's like, "Ooh, let's reboot this." They did it with the A-Team,
Mhm.
which I didn't care for. I like the guy they played Mr. T's character. Um
Rampage Jackson.
yeah, I like him in general. But it just oh, it's pretty bad. I think was it a couple weeks ago we were talking about the GI Joe they were awful.
Yeah, we're talking about that because I think it's because we were talking about the new He-Man movie coming out.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So
that looks great until I
Ugh,
found out that Jared Leto's in it, and I'm like, great, it's ruined now.
the old school one was better.
I'll still go see it. I will still go see this movie, but I wonder if they just don't let Jared Leto talk.
maybe just a
Fingers
mask.
crossed, fingers crossed.
I'm sure he's like trying to talk to him. Goes, okay, so here's my idea for Skeletor. I'm like, have you ever watched this show? You just need to do funny things and cackle and run away. That's
Mhm.
it. That's all you gotta do.
He'll just ADR
Nothing
someone
more.
over
Cackle
him.
and run.
You don't need to like come up with a grill or Skeletor has tattoos or none of that. Just come in and just do the part, man.
Yeah, how many
So
roles
so
has he
so far in
ruined
this
at this
episode,
time?
oh, we could do a whole episode on
I
that.
know.
Candy's been on the episode for now 24 minutes, and we've already insulted 2 famous people.
It's funny though.
I mean,
Truth
I'm not
hurts.
too worried. I know I'm not too worried about Carrot Top, but Jared Leto may just show up one day.
Jared Leto might say, "Hey, I'm method acting again as the Joker," and send you like stuff in the mail, like how he did
Oh yeah, I
before.
forgot he did that.
Yeah,
Did he send like dead animals to
yeah,
people?
yeah. And then the stupid excuse is like, I'm a method actor. It's like, that's not being a method actor, it's being a jerk.
Stalker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think um I've never seen like De Niro go, "Hey, I do a lot of mobster films, so I'm gonna go, you know, I'm gonna go shoot up like a store or go punch a guy in the face."
Mm-mm.
Although I do feel that if Jared Leto sent Robert De Niro a dead animal, uh, Robert De Niro is showing up at his house.
Probably.
Or like the horse's head in the God was it The Godfather
Yeah.
where they had the horse's head in the bed?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Horse's head shows up at your front door. Send it back.
See, now I wanna watch
Wrong
now I wanna
number.
watch stuff with Robert De Niro.
Mhm.
So because we do kind of like a little bit of everything here, we're nerdy, geeky guys and do stuff. So I have to ask the most important question of this whole
Yeah.
podcast. Do you play any video games? And if so, what do you play?
So I back in the day when I was younger, I used to play Nintendo with my grandmother. She loved Nintendo. She liked the one what's the one where, the princess had to dig up stuff? Is it Super Mario 3?
Oh,
I don't
Super
know, she
Mario
liked
2.
2.
yeah, or 2, yes, uh-huh. She loved playing that. She loved Zelda. I
Mhm.
mean, she was and Bomberman, because y'all were playing that the other day on your
Mhm.
video, and I'm like, "Hey, is that Bomberman with the bomber?" And so she would play that, but here currently, I don't play a lot of video games, but when I did, I had a Nintendo Switch, and I like the old school Mario.
Mhm.
I used to play with that or play that, and then Sonic. Sonic was good when collecting all the rings. And I tried to play now, this is funny. So I was like, "Okay," I tried to play Call of Duty once, Black Ops, and I was killed within 20 seconds. I said, "Yeah, this game isn't for me." But it's cool how you can go around and shoot people like in
Yeah.
the video game, and I'm like, "Well, it's not for me. I'm dead in 20 seconds." So, next. But no, my brother though, he is a really big, big gamer. So I might have to have get you guys to I mean, he does this video YouTube stuff too, and he's a big gamer. I remember one time he said, "Come see my setup for my game." I'm like, "Okay." He has this big old TV, and he had this whole setup to drive. He was doing this
Yeah.
driving game, and he actually had the steering wheel and the brake, and it felt like you were in the NASCAR. This,
Mhm.
and I'm like, "This is cool," but I couldn't do it like 24/7. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's certain people that do that. My brother's one of them. I love him to death, but he's a total gamer. But it's fun. It's a great relief sometimes for people. And I don't have my Nintendo Switch anymore because I switched to doing my podcast. But yeah, Nintendo Super Mario Brother is where it was at.
Yeah,
I love it.
I I don't play Call of Duty. Neither one of us play Call of Duty. Um, I think the only thing I probably play more than Super Mario Brothers 3 is Halo. Um, Alex always knows what I'm on because of Discord,
Yeah.
it's like,
It
"Ben is
tells on you.
playing Halo." Yeah, and it's probably I would say most of the week is what I play
Yeah.
because I could jump in, play a couple rounds, and then go to bed.
See, I'm the smart guy. I
Um,
turn off my Discord status so you don't know when I'm playing games.
Exactly.
oh, but
That's
I
what I
could
did the other day. I turned it on Do Not Disturb. It's
I'm
like
gonna next time
nobody could see me.
but I know Alex well enough that if we're not recording and we're not meeting, I could text him and be like, "Hey, are you playing Final Fantasy?"
Right
He's
now,
like,
yeah.
"Yep."
Yeah. That's all I'm doing.
That's because that's
What
what
kind
you're
of games are
into.
those? What kind of games are those? Like Halo, I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
So I mean Halo is like kind of like a Call of Duty, but it's like a space Call of Duty, I would say, is the easiest
Oh,
term of saying that. It's a first person shooter, but it tends to be either free for all or team based. There can be different modes and stuff, but basically think of like Star Wars, like stormtroopers like in their outfits instead but it's like green and blue uniforms and red and all that kind of stuff, and they're all like kind of facing
hmm,
against each other, so a lot of it's space oriented, like on planets. So like there's sometimes like low gravity, so like your jumps are a little like higher. There's more futuristic weapons and stuff like that. The Halo like stories and stuff tend to have like different alien races and battles and all that kind of stuff, so it just it's basically a video game Star Wars. Like that's the easiest way. Video game Star Wars, that's Call of Duty. I know people might not like that
Nice.
terminology, but like that's the easiest way to describe it to people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're no longer gonna be accepted anymore.
It's I
Um,
don't care.
Final Fantasy Final Fantasy, the one he plays is online. It's 14, right?
Yeah, so it's like World of Warcraft, if you like know what that is. So like it's you're doing a bunch of clicking and like there's people online, um and you're going through your story mode stuff on your own, but there's a bunch of people around you. But then you can also like meet people on there, you can talk to them, you can join parties with them. And then
Mhm.
there's certain parts of the game where it's like, hey, you gotta like do this with people, so you have to queue up, like you join the battle and then you have to wait until enough people join the battle and then you all do that fight. But the difference between Final Fantasy and something like World of Warcraft is that Final Fantasy focuses more on the story, and so there's a lot of like cutscenes and stuff like that, like big videos for all those like before every fight. And so the community for Final Fantasy is very forgiving. Like they won't like start the fight on sometimes like because they want people to experience the cutscenes, so they'll like kind of like wait there and just chill, and then once they know that everyone's done with it, they'll all go together and they'll all go fight the boss or something like that. So whereas like World of Warcraft is kind of like toxic nowadays from what it sounds like, Final Fantasy is the opposite of that. But otherwise Final Fantasy is like turn-based
Gotcha.
stuff, so like not this one, but like turn-based, like Pokemon is probably an easiest example as well. So like it's you choose your attack, you fight, other person gets to choose their attack, they fight, it's just back and forth, back and like chess. So
Hmm.
Yeah.
Seems interesting.
yeah,
I
there's a
Um,
like
lot of
shooting
games.
people on the games. Like zombies. I'm like, "Oh, yeah." Like, I don't have to fight anybody
House
else,
of the
but,
Dead.
like, if I shoot. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used
That's
to be
fun.
pretty quiet. I used to be pretty quiet, but recently I feel like there might be some cheating going on, and so therefore I get pretty vocal. Um, so so you mentioned you do like horror films. If you could tell us like
Mhm.
your what are some of your favorite, they don't have to be just horror, but like movies in general, like what are some of your favorite?
So my favorite horror movie of all time is the 1974 version of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original. Love that movie. It's so cheesy, but I love it. And then there's another version too where, um, was it 3, 4? There was like bunch of versions, but there's only another newer version I like. I can't remember what it is. Is it 3? The one where they're in the van and lady shoots herself in the, or she unalives herself in the back of the van. That was a good one. I like The Sixth Sense
Mhm.
because, I've experienced similar situations. And I like Stir of Echoes. That's what it was. Kevin Bacon, Stir of Echoes.
Oh yeah,
That's a good one too.
classic
Mhm.
bacon.
Yep. And then the newer ones, I'm not a fan of these newer ones that are coming out. I just don't think they're scary. But if they're based on real life, then maybe, like Texas Chainsaw and Silence of the Lambs are based on people that have actually killed people like that. Like
Mhm.
Ed Gein, he's Silence of the Lambs and
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw. So that's kinda creepy because it's true. And, the documentaries on serial killers, obviously, I find that interesting too, Jeffrey Dahmer. And then and Ed Gein, that was the creepiest one I've ever seen, was Ed Gein. And I like all the American Horror Stories.
Mm.
Well, some of them I don't like, but the majority of them I like. But I like comedy too, I'm funny. So I like Dumb and Dumber is my favorite. And then I like Step Brothers is my all-time favorite comedy that I love. Yeah. Did we just
Yes.
become best friends?
I I remember for the longest time, my wife would when we would she would get mad at me about something, I would text her memes from Step Brothers for, like, hours. How I'm still married, I have no idea. Um,
That's
but,
funny.
like, I've been trying that movie is so good on such a shoestring budget. Um,
Right.
just a great film. Um,
And it
I think, oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, another one that people don't know a lot about, or they may have known about back in the early 2000s, late 1990s. There was a made-for-TV series. Remember how they had those back in the day, 2 hours? Well, it was Stephen
Oh,
King's
yeah.
Rose Red. Rose Red was one of my
Oh,
favorites,
yeah.
and
Mhm.
then The Shining, and then Misery. So those are some of my favorite too, but Rose Red is right up there. It's a good one. And the remake
Um,
of The Shining was
I
okay too.
I prefer, like, the original Shining with Jack Nicholson,
Mhm.
but, yeah, I'm up there. Um, Now a lot of those movies, I could tell you from seeing those, Alex is not watching any of
I've
those.
seen The Shining and The
None
Sixth
of the
Sense. I love The Shining, actually. I love that movie a lot because a lot of that's like psychological. There are maybe two jump scares in that, but like overall, like it's very enjoyable and just eerie. Like it gives you like a weird feeling, but like it's a good weird feeling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh, and The Green Mile's good too.
Mm.
it's funny, I worked at Blockbuster when I was younger, so, um, I used to get, like, 5 free rentals a week, and so I was watching a
You're
lot
like,
of the movies.
"Yes!"
I and I just got a PS2, and we were
Mhm.
renting those, so it was like a win-win for me. I worked there, like, 3 years for what seems like no money at all.
Got those
Like,
perks though.
I could not s I did,
Right, the
and
perks
we
were
were
good.
and we were allowed to rent stuff that wasn't out because we would get it, like, a week or 2 weeks early. So, like Stir of Echoes, when we got it 3 weeks early. I could watch it early, or I could play the games early.
Nice.
So that was, you know, that was pretty fun, um, there. I only talked to one person I worked with there because we were a close group, my friend Kim. Um, I've told her to listen to the podcast, so this is gonna be a test. I'll text her and be like, "Hey, I talked about you in the podcast." Um, Knowing her, she probably does, and I will get a phone call. Um, but it it's it's just funny, like, you kinda follow, like, so you love the paranormal shows, you love the horror and stuff. Now, have you ever
Mhm.
been to, like, a paranormal conference or, like, a horror con or anything like that?
No, surprisingly not. I have never been to any one of those. I've been to, like, a psychic retreat type deal, Paranormal at the Mason House Inn with the group, and I followed that group to some of, familiar places like the Edinburgh Manor, Ashmore Estates, so I follow that group, they have events, so I go with them and I learn a lot, but I've never been to, like, a paranormal conference or a horror Comic-Con or anything like that. I just haven't had the opportunity until now, so hopefully I'll be able to visit one of those someday.
I've been to a couple Comic Cons. Alex has been to several more cons than me. Um, and, I like going to Comic Con. I've had a good time at them. Um, what was the one? Oh, like, y I think, like, going to a con is, like, cool to meet people that are into the same type of things you're into, um,
Mhm.
you know? So before we kind of, like, just kind of jump into different things, so when did you
Mhm.
decide, "Hey, I am gonna start doing this podcast?" Because for me, I wanted to do this years ago, and finally, when I started getting it going, I was like, "Yes, this is what I wanna do." So when was that point for you where you're like, "Imma do it. I'm just gonna start doing it."
It was probably, like, 4 years ago. I lived in Phoenix prior to moving here to Quincy anyway. That was 4 years ago. I said, "Man, it'd be cool to have a podcast, with my best friend, in the same we were in the same town." And then I'm like, well, things happened and I wasn't able to do that. Plus, lo and behold, I have anxiety really bad. So I don't this kinda helps me with my anxiety. 'Cause
Mhm.
I'm talking to myself, and I talk about things I love, which is paranormal. So I was like, "Well, let me just put myself out there, get outside my comfort zone." And then 2 years ago next month, since I've started the Half Haunted podcast, but the idea was 2 years prior to that, but I came into fruition um, 2 years ago. But yeah,
That's that's
anxiety really
awesome.
sucks, and this helps. Yeah,
It does. Um, you
yeah,
know, it a couple years ago, Alex actually suggested we started doing YouTube as well. I was like, "Man, I don't know." And he's like, "No, this is gonna be good for us, right?" And it actually has been pretty good for us. Um, we've only had we've only had one. I'm gonna jinx myself again, Alex. You're gonna yell at me later. We've only had like one comment that wasn't good, and all they said was, "You suck."
Yeah, it was during our
No
Bomberman.
context. Yeah, no context to it at all. Not like you're not doing the game right, just you suck. But we had a good laugh over it. Um,
yeah,
Obviously that person needs a hug. Um,
right.
we but like it is kind of putting yourself out there. Um, we've done it, and it's been great. But that's awesome. You're using it to kind of help with anxiety and stuff like that. Um, my
Yeah, mhm,
I was gonna say my son has anxiety and depression, and
mhm.
him doing his little videos, I think, some. So
Yeah, it definitely helps, and I just enjoyed it. I started, doing YouTube right off the bat. I was like, "Oh, you can do voice or you can go on video." I said, "Well, why don't people wanna see me?" Well, I wanna be out there, and it was a big because I don't even like the sound. I used to not like the sound of my own voice, and
Mhm.
now I've done this for 2 years. I enjoy it, and people find my voice soothing, but I'm more of a get out there, rip the Band-Aid off and go for it. So I started with YouTube, from the start, and then, it's been trial and error for the last 2 years, but the last year or so, I think it's been pretty solid. Like, I've done a fairly good job. I'm a one-man shop, so I do everything. Research from telling the stories to research, so it helps, and it's helped me come out of my shell a whole lot more than before. So I enjoy doing this, and this is the first time for me doing being interviewed and stuff, and my next goal is to do, like, live streaming like you do, actually have a live podcast where people can sit there and be in there live while you're doing it.
Mhm.
I get nervous. I'm like, "Oh my god, what if people don't like me?" But I'm like, "Whatever, if they didn't like me, they don't have to listen," you know? Simple. So that's my next step is to do, like, a live version and actually have guests, like, maybe you guys in the future come on mine and
Mhm.
vice versa, you know what I mean? And other people have asked, "Oh, I'd love to be on your podcast," and I'm like, "Okay, I can make this happen soon."
Yeah.
So I try to take everything into consideration, but that's something that'll be in the near future for me, is that having guests and live podcasting.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think it was. Go ahead. I'm sorry,
I
Alex.
was about to say, like, it definitely is challenging initially. Like, kind of like how we talked about with all this. Like, we use OBS, we use Discord and all that. We used to be all be in person, but thanks to the power of the internet and all that, we're able to, talk to you, we're able to talk to anyone else, and like the quality is like pretty good compared
Yeah.
to like being in the same room. Even like in the same room, if we had our like same stuff here, we would sound worse, we would all look worse. But because we're all in front of our stuff and it's all set up a certain way, looks and sounds great, and there's no problem. So like, yeah, once you definitely
Right.
get it set up, that's the hardest part about it, is getting everything set up, and after that it's pretty much all plug and play, at least with the way that we do it. So
Yeah, same here, yeah. It's very
Yeah,
simple. So
I want to ask Alex. Alex, how many of our episodes have you listened to?
how many episodes have I listened to of ours?
Yeah,
Zero.
I've I've only had one playing in the background once, um, and I was like, "Nope, don't ever want to do that
Oh,
again."
I,
Um,
I did listen to, when we first started doing let's plays, I had our playlist of Celeste playing, and I was like, man, we're really good at let's plays, we should do this more, and then we kind of stopped doing let's plays. But yeah, no, I from what I've listened, or actually that's not true, because lately, like when I've been trying to do the shorts and stuff, I re-listen to the podcast, so I am listening. I'm Fraser Crane, I'm listening. But I listen to enough of it now, I would say. But yeah, I'm used to the sound of my voice nowadays. Like for the longest time I
Yeah.
wasn't, but because I was doing streaming, because I was doing other stuff, um, I've been recorded enough times to where I'm finally just I'm okay with it. I'm content with it. So I'm fine with that. But yeah. How much? Yeah. So you haven't really listened to our podcast at all, then? Ben?
No.
Oh, I meant
Oh,
Ben.
Oh, sorry.
sorry.
No,
I was like,
no.
once.
Yeah, you're good. No,
She's
you're
like,
good. I'm not
she
putting
goes
you on a
this.
spot. I'm putting Ben on a spot. He put me on spot.
She's
So
like, she's like, I thought they were gonna do this.
yeah, no.
I've I've listened to it in the background. The one episode I listened to, so Alex and I did a really good job of like getting our name out there and really trying to get us on as many audio platforms as possible. And we were on Pandora and we had signed up for Pandora, never heard an email or anything. And then all of a sudden it was on there. And I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta listen to it. And I was listening to it and I was like, that's us on there. So that was pretty cool to kind of see that or like to see us on Amazon. Um,
Yeah.
I'm just
but like
thinking of the
I
meme. I'm thinking of like the SpongeBob. Look, Gary, there I am, and it's like a really blurred out image of us.
yeah,
My
I mean,
nieces are like that too. They're like, I said your cousin. Well, they're my cousins, but I call 'em my nieces because I'm way older than they are. They're 9, 7, and 1. I said, "Your cousin's famous," sort of. I said, "Look, she's on the TV." They saw it pop on my podcast, and they're like this. They're like, "Wow, we know somebody on YouTube." So it's kinda neat. I mean, that's the only time I'll listen to it after I recorded it,
Mhm.
is to show people, or sometimes I'll listen to it real quickly for TikTok, but I don't really listen to my own podcast
Yeah.
after it's all said and done.
we were had the awesome privilege. We had Jay and Rob from Nintendo Quest and then N64 Quest on our show. And we did the Kickstarter. So we're executive producers. So if you watch that series at the very end, they got all the Kickstarter producers. Alex and I are on there, and I'm not gonna lie. When I saw that the first time, snapped a picture, sent it to Alex, sent it to my kids. I was like, look, I'm an executive, which is crazy because he also said we can sign into IMDb and we can add that to our name. Uh,
Yeah.
I didn't
That's
do that. Did you
cool.
do it? Did you
No,
do that,
I never
Alex?
did.
I'm afraid all these people are gonna be calling me for money of like, hey, I got the movie. You've already put money down on
You'll
this.
be
And
like, I got $2. What do you got? I mean, I would
Yeah.
I
put money
mean,
on what's his face is Matt Johnson's new movie. Isn't he doing he's doing Magic the Gathering movie. Like I put money on that.
yeah,
Yeah. Matt Johnson
I
from fame Nirvana the band the show. I don't shut up about it. Now there's Nirvana the band the show the movie. But yeah, comedy. A
Oh,
Canadian
wow.
it
comedy.
is getting a lot of buzz. I would say that
Yeah, it has like
they're getting a lot of buzz.
which is awesome. I can finally be like, look, I've been talking about these guys for years, and now all you now you know who he is. Now you know who they are. Um,
It's kind of like the Mighty Boosh. They were on Adult Swim a long time ago, really late at night, British comedy show, and people are like, "I have no idea what this is." They were on there, they blew up, and now I see memes on Facebook and TikTok. Uh,
you always see old Greg.
who's the character? Yes,
Yeah,
old Greg. Uh, but it's hilarious because people are like, I saw somebody in town wearing an old Greg shirt, and it says, "Do you like Bailey's out of a shoe?" And and like I'm like looking at this younger person, I'm like, you have no idea what that's from.
they just went to
Zero
Hot
idea.
Topic or
Right.
Target, and they're just like, I think this is funny, and they just grab shirt. It's like when people used to
Yeah.
make fun of people. I guess they still do. Where it's kind of I don't know. Sometimes people are mean about it, but it's like, oh, I bought this shirt of insert band name here. I don't listen to the band, but I like the shirt. Like there are people who are legitimately like that, but then there's also people who are trying to be like, oh yeah, you're wearing Green Day, name 5 of their songs right now. I don't have to do that.
Right. No.
The the only one that kills me in their Nirvana shirts, and they're like, I'm like, "Do you even know who any of the people that were in the band?" And they're like, "Kurt Cobain." And I'm like, "Yeah, what songs they sing?" "I don't know." I'm like, "Most iconic band, and you're wearing their
Right.
shirt, and you don't even know." So,
Yeah.
That's
I
a
don't wanna turn
shame.
this podcast I don't wanna turn this podcast into me being an old man being angry wearing shirts of
That's every
old
episode.
bands or
Every
pretty
episode, you're just
much,
an old
pretty
man.
much.
Future is now, old man.
I mean, I think at some point we're gonna have to do you know what grinds my gears
Oh yeah.
episodes?
Oh, I love that.
Uh,
I thought
we just have
about
to
that at first. I'm like, to do a podcast like that, what really grinds my gears, but then I'm like, no, the trademarking, the Family Guy, and all that.
Seth MacFarlane will sue you.
Probably.
He will.
Yeah,
He's he's
it's
got that Disney
hilarious.
money, so he's like
He's got that
he's
TED
got
money.
money like Disney, so he'll be like, "Oh, yeah.
TED's coming up.
Um, oh, yeah, I forgot season 2.
Yeah.
That show's great. I can't watch it around we
Yes.
were I don't know if you ever watched Ted before. Um,
Oh, yeah.
they did a TV show. It's when, him and John were younger, and I told Alex, I go, "Dude, we should do this podcast about season 1 and season 2." He goes, "We try to stay at a level with our podcast of, like, not being, like, overly vulgar in language." I go he
Right.
goes, "We can't talk about any of it. There's, like, 0 of the
Like
show
just saying a
we can talk
synopsis
about."
of an episode and be like, "That's funny." It's like we're already being offensive. We can't. The
Right.
episode would be 2 minutes long and be like, "I thought the show was good. What'd you think? The show was good." End of episode. Uh,
Yeah.
you
I
Or
you
every
mean
can't
other
go into
word would be
detail.
blurred
Yeah,
out.
exactly.
yeah.
Bleeped out. I have to learn how to do
Bleep,
the
bleep, bleep,
censor.
bleep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I still
it's
the
cool.
one episode that I was thinking about I was watching was the one where Ted was the Ewok and for Halloween, and I was like, "Oh, we could totally do this." And I watched that episode. I'm like, "Nope. No, we cannot." We c we
No.
couldn't even do any of that episode, like,
No.
maybe 2 minutes,
Yeah.
of that
The
episode.
only part you could do is when they're throwing eggs at
So
the Hulk and the Hulk's wearing his own T-shirt. It's like, why would the Hulk be wearing his own merchandise? It's the only thing I remember from that episode.
that would be it.
Yeah.
Um, so, like, you've got some cool stuff and you wanna do some if streaming and stuff. Is
Mhm.
there, any little piece I know you've talked about the one in March. Is there something that you're working on this year or maybe even next year that you're kind of excited about that you could kind of, like, tell our fans and be like, "Oh, by the way, this is what I'm doing." Um, it could be something down the road, like, in a couple years, put your spot and go, "This is the date." You don't have to be like Rockstar, and say, "This is the date," like, 12 times.
Mhm.
But, like, is there something that you could be like, "Yep, this is what I'm working on. You guys will love it," and kind of, like, giving them a synopsis of it?
Yeah, it's the Appalachian series. So a lot of people talk about the Appalachians and the feral people and the crazy stuff that goes on in the Appalachian area mountains. So that's a season's going to come out probably, I would say July 1st before 4th of July. And that's a hefty episode. I mean, a hefty series, probably over 100 episodes. But
Oh,
it talks
wow.
about the different legends and different ways. And then I threw in some humor. So hopefully it works out. But I've been fascinated. I'm wondering, like, these Appalachian people, are they really real? Like, or is it just Mima's legends? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it's going to be interesting. And I'm excited to learn about that, and also some other special episodes. I'm going to the Eldred, if I say that correctly, Eldred House. It's just south of where I live, and I found this while roaming the internet. And the place, I guess, the gentleman that died there, he's 107 years old and it's supposedly haunted. So I'm interested because I don't know a whole lot about this place. And I think everybody is going to find that this place is a gem and that they'll want to visit it. And so I have going there on April 4th to do an interview with the historian there, and they're going to give me a tour, and I'll be able to experience that situation there and to share that with you guys. And that'll be out whenever I feel like putting it out, which is
Mhm.
probably between now and the Appalachian series as a special one-off episode. But yeah, I'm looking forward to those and then doing UFO stuff next year and then talking about Native American legends too, because I did grow up, in New Mexico and Arizona. So I want to learn more about other people's paranormal cultures too.
Mhm.
So there'll be a lot of European or other countries that I talk about too, more than I have already. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, look forward to the Appalachian series. It's going to probably come out September ish. It'll be September. Well, I'll take that back. July through September, October, because I saved October for the good stuff, and then I take usually, December off. So, yeah, keep myself busy. So,
Um, we do that. Pre-record stuff November, December. I will say that has been the best thing that we've done, because it's like we get 2 months off, and it's nice. Um, so where all can people find you if they're like, "Hey, excuse me, I want more of this." Where can they find you?
well, they can find me on TikTok, Spotify, and YouTube at Half Haunted Chronicles. That's it. All lowercase, all one word, Half Haunted Chronicles. You'll see my logo. I don't know if you can see that here. And you just tune in and enjoy the stories. I go way back, so there's 2 years of stuff. So you got a lot of catching up to do if you wanna
Yeah.
start from the beginning, and it's just you'll see my progress too, and the stories get more cooler.
Mhm.
I'm short and sweet and to the point. So there used to be longer episodes at the beginning, but now it's more shorter and the attention span sometimes can be interesting. So I just keep it to where it intrigues people and they want to come back for more. But yeah, find me on TikTok, Spotify, and YouTube at Half Haunted Chronicles.
That is awesome.
Nice.
Well, I, I personally, we both want to thank you for being on our show. Um, if you are
Thank you
new
for
here,
having me.
you're
Mhm.
very welcome. If you're new here, we are the Get Out of Gaming Plus podcast, bi-weekly podcast, talk about everything from nerdy and at this point, spooky and paranormal. Alex turns around like,
For
wait,
now.
what? Um, for now. We're on wherever you get your podcasts for audio. Uh, podcast release on Wednesdays, every other week, and then Friday you get a video version. So check us out on Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, you name it. And then also we're on Blue Sky and Facebook. Yes, this has been awesome. So again, thank you for taking the time to be with us. Alex, you got anything else to say?
Just to get at it.
Get at it.
Get at it.